King was good in this episode. I will admit, King was good in this episode.
He didn't talk that much.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, that's not the best compliment you can give a character.
Three, 2, 1.
I
equals
equals
ass.
Maybe you should keep that in the video.
Yeah.
Everyone's saying that at the same time.
Okay, well, I mean, I think that's the first thing we should talk about. The most significant thing that we noticed in this episode is that when Ida is checking off her list of ingredients, one of the things listed is eye quills, ass. And we are unsure if ass is a word that is cut off or if they just wrote ass. Like, we don't understand what that's supposed to mean.
Like assassin? I don't know.
It must be a word that's cut off, but it doesn't look like it.
And you would think that they would notice that.
They must have noticed that. They must have noticed.
I mean,
most letters would have a tall part getting cut off.
Exactly.
I mean, maybe it really is eye quills and then ass quills. Because if it's ass quills, there would be a dash between ass and quills, and the dash wouldn't be shown.
True.
I feel so bad. This is what we're talking about after that episode because I thought it was.
No, we gotta talk. We have to talk about
wonderful.
The funny thing before we get to the heavy stuff.
Okay. That's
talking of funny stuff, the Blight siblings.
They look so cute when they took off their thing.
I know.
Oh my god. He's so cute.
I've been having them on the entire I love that. That is absolutely mad. That is Adventure Time levels of chaos. The fact that they have been hiding their puberty, their long
clothes,
hair.
always being the same.
Why Edric was hiding his glasses.
They're so cute.
I feel like having invisible glasses is, I don't know, would cause some kind of issue. You would lose them.
I guess not.
I don't even know where to start.
Yeah. Well, so for me, maybe this is the case with you guys too, but this is an episode that kind of skyrocketed in quality once that thing happened. Not that it wasn't good, it was good, but then once they reveal what Luz was nervous about, I was like, oh, okay, there's our...
Oh, I agree.
There's our juicy Twitter invasion moment.
I was a little nervous that she was just worried to be like, well, today my mom and I hang out and I miss her and I didn't want to tell you, and I was just like, that's not a good enough reason to be dishonest. And I was like, oh, okay, never mind.
Because even Tipsy said it during the episode, it was reminding her of Steven Universe, and I was getting that same sort of feeling, and I was sitting there just hoping they'll subvert it, right? It's not just going to be a very basic, she's lying, but then she's going to realize that she shouldn't be lying. It's no, she was lying about an extremely realistic, depressing thing that makes sense for her to be so nervous about.
Yeah, and it also makes perfect sense that she thought she could deal with it. She was like, this happened a long time ago, and it's not really a big deal anymore, but it is because she doesn't get to see her mama because she's in a different world.
And they did that stupid thing that I love when there's a character that's always goofy, and then they have that really serious moment, and then she tries to get up and fall. She's like, I got jelly legs, and I'm like, you poor sweetheart. I'm like, no, it's just so good.
But yeah, I really like Luz's mood change at the end of the episode, because Luz is usually very peppy. She's either peppy, very peppy, or she's anxious and hiding something like she was the majority of this episode. It's either one or the other. You never get an outright, depressed or serious Luz, and we did at the end of this episode, and I really appreciated that. I think it adds a lot more to her, to show her going through different emotions,
Yeah.
I need you guys to know something. I'm not one to be a big shipper. I really don't. That's not really my thing. I don't do it often. But I genuinely think Amity and Luz is one of my favorite relationships in any media.
Yeah.
Just the way it's portrayed. I know that's quite a big thing to say, but just the way they interact and just the healthiness of it and the realism. I'm just like so impressed with the writing. Seriously.
Yeah. But that's a point that I remember I talked about forever ago. It's just like, it's really even the fact that the main character is in a wholesome relationship, like, at all, that is interesting about this show, because we never get that. If a show is going to build up to a relationship, it's going to be the last episode, or it's going to be like a weird like misunderstanding, or like one character's like kind of a stalker, or like things like that. Like, we never just get a straightforward like super cute dynamic like this.
When she's like, I'm leaving without both of you, and she goes invisible, and then Luz follows her, Amity just like kind of immediately opens up to her. There's no like force, like, I'm not talking to you, like sort of thing. It was just so real. Like, Amity just like went right into it and was honest about her feelings, and I'm just like, oh my god, this is so good.
Yeah, when they made Amity and Luz like a canon pairing so early on, I was kind of happy, because it meant that we'd have more time with them as a couple going through couple problems before the end of the show. And I knew there would be couple problems, and this is an example of them having those relationship issues and dealing with them in a healthy way, rather than, well, what Steven Universe did, which is a prolonged, unhealthy way of dealing with things. I suspect we'll get more like this in the future. They will probably have more relationship issues in the future, and we may or may not like those storylines depending. I don't feel particularly attached to the couple myself in terms of relating to them. I don't really relate strongly to either character, and I've never dated anyone, so I can't relate to their relationship. But the fact is, they are the first example of gay cartoon characters having an on-screen ongoing relationship, and of cartoon characters in general having an ongoing relationship. You never see that in kids media. You never see teenage dating.
Yeah.
So that's what makes them special to me, I think.
Especially too, like, just like you're right that there's not gay representation in anything, and like if there is, it would like be a side character in like an adult animated cartoon where like it's just like a stereotype, where it's just like, you know, it's not actually really representation. It's just like, oh, this is like the gay one, ha ha ha. Like,
yeah, the only example I can think of is Spinnerella and Natasha and Shira. Like, that is the only example I can think of where you had gay characters in an on-screen relation. Oh, and Bubbling, but Bubbling was like almost entirely subtextual in comparison until the series finale, and Obsidian. So that's kind of different.
Yeah, I would say that's very different.
yeah, that's very different. Lumity is very open about itself. It's very confident. It's much more representative and comfortable with what it is, even if it's new ground.
I've also never dated, but that's cause Aero, and I still like relate to them on just like on a relationship level. Like, it doesn't have to be a romantic thing. Just like admiring how these two characters are interacting with each other in such like an admirable and healthy way, and how they can show characters getting angry at each other or having a relationship issue without it being the cookie cutter, like they're angry and they're giving them the silent treatment and then they resolve it at the end of the episode. It's like they can be angry but also accepting and open about their feelings. That's not something that just often is shown. People are really black and white with that stuff usually, so it's really nice to see like such a complex sort of thing. And I'm like, hell yeah, love it. You know what else I love? Mm-hmm. This episode had so many characters intermingling that hadn't, but like all at once, but in such a fun way. Just like Ida and his name's Elric, right? I'm sorry, I always want to say Edric. I was gonna say his name.
Sounds too much like Ida.
Yes, you said.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Oh, I always want to say Edric, but it's Elric, right? No, okay, I was right. No, but Edric and Ida, and just like it's funny seeing the warden again, and also Ida and Amity's dad.
Oh yeah. Oh, they have a history.
You know, and then King and Edric, like, just kind of connecting and having, like, a good King moment there where he just sort of casually says what he's feeling. Instead of going, like, you know, I relate to that. As King, I'm always feeling bad because, like, he just said, like, I get it. And I'm just like,
as King
bam,
from
nice.
the Owl House, I relate to this moment.
Yeah. No, it was really, really good. Seriously.
Like when Edric like started walking away, and then the camera like focused on him, and he was like, "I'm feeling sad." I was like, "Hold on, how is this going to be an Edric episode in addition to everything else that's been set up so far?" But then it was, and it like worked really well.
Yeah.
Well, that too, like, something that I always appreciate, especially with this show, like, just having him mention, like, oh, I do, like, what is it, beastkeeping magic as a hobby, and also, like, this other thing. It's always nice to hear about, like, what the characters are doing off screen, where he's like, oh, this guy's actually really interested in these other things. He's not just one-dimensional illusion zany brother, you know? And he looks cuter without the illusion magic, just saying. Also, the fight scenes, super cool. Oh my god. I love it. Oh my god, someone else talk.
I'm trying to think of what to say, because it's just like, especially compared to how I felt about the previous episode. Anyways, it's like this episode was establishing itself like it was a good filler episode. I know that's like a wrong thing to say, filler, but like, you know, up until we got like that moment of Luz talking about her dad, that's when I was like, whoa, okay, this is like an episode that's like doing something that kind of, you know, is very rare for a cartoon
what
to even
made you
do.
think it was going to be a filler episode? Because as soon as Luz like was like saying or thinking anything about her mom, I was like, okay, this is going to be something's going to happen in this one.
I just mean the
get
scenario.
What Nick's saying, because it's like, I want to join the brawl, and it's like, oh, it's the zany brawl episode,
Exactly,
like,
yeah.
sort of thing.
It's like it's the mandated wrestling episode. Like, it didn't seem like it was like, okay, they're going here to like earn this item and do this thing. Like, it was like a very direct, like, okay, they want to do like a tournament.
The thing is that
episode.
it was like all of those things.
That's what I got.
It just works so well.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
I think maybe you're just used to like only one thing happening. It's just like, oh, this is the tournament episode, so no room for very sad, honest scenes or anything. But it's just like, we were wrong.
I liked, what's the name of Amity's father?
Mr. Amity.
They just said it. I don't remember.
yeah.
Mr. Amity. Alador, that's his name. Alador Blight. I thought he was, like, quite interesting in this episode. I always found him to be, like, you know, he was always just, like, the
Quiet
guy
dad,
in the background who you knew that, like, he's quiet, he's obviously, like, you know, a bit of a mad scientist guy. And we never hear
what was interesting was
from
it
him.
seemed like the dynamic was Amity's mom was really, really overbearing, and he was just kind of quiet and kept to himself, and he didn't really want to, like, get in her business or, like, defy her. But he had, like, in this episode, it's surprising to see him being the one being like, no, Amity, you do this. I thought that was more of an Amity mom thing, but I'm like, oh, okay, they're
it
both
kind of
pretty
is,
controlling.
though, because he was only doing that because Amity's mom signed her up for the Emperor's Coven thing.
No, I think it's like a lot more complicated than it's just Amity's mum's fault. Amity's father has also been like putting pressure on her. I mean, she's in the Abomination Coven. Her mother's not in the Abomination Coven, as far as I can tell. And the thing is, like, it's made clear. It's made very apparent. Like, for the same reason that Willow was on the Abomination track, if you recall. She was put on there by her fathers who love her because you get more money out of it when you get a job for it. But it's clear, like, that's kind of the intention with Amity as well. I mean, she loves her abomination magic, she really does. But when her dad said that he used to mess around a lot and that's why he doesn't want Amity to do the same, it's made pretty transparent that her parents are putting expectations on her that they were not able to meet themselves. They're kind of hoping that she's more successful than they are and that she has the respect of the Emperor's Coven, which does not like them at all and which is currently using their tech. So he's also like a problematic parent in regard of, especially when you see him trying to control her in this episode and humiliating her in the competition.
Oh,
it's kind of controlling. It's not like the worst ever. It's definitely like bad.
A thing I have to bring up before I forget really fast, because they did this twice in the show, and I liked it a lot both times. Remember in, I think, Understanding Willow is the episode, and Amity and Willow were like, sort of like gonna become friends again, and they were sort of just like, it's a start. At the end of this episode, when the dad was like kind of on Amity's side a little bit, and he went to hug, she like went for the handshake instead, and was just like, it's a good first step. I'm like, hell yeah! I like the whole like not getting right into like, I love you, Dad. You're
finally,
right.
Huh? We were talking about this like earlier this season with Ida's mom episode, anti-vaxxer episode.
I barely remember that episode. It's been a while, if I'm being honest.
What were our opinions on that one again? Did we like how they handled it? Did we not like how they handled it? I can't remember.
Basically, like, it wasn't... It was more like a cartoon ending of an episode than it was like this, like what Chan just said.
It's like, instead of a slow burn, like, relationship rebuilding, it's like, all is forgiven. I learned my cartoon lesson in 22 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
People were fine with it, but, like, it was definitely worse than this.
I think, but I correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that was what happened with her and Willow. Like, they were like, it's a start, or was it Amity and... No, it was Amity and Luce, wasn't it? Maybe. When they first were getting...
I think it was... No, because Willow and Amity used to be friends or whatever.
Okay, so it probably was that episode. Right. But still, like... Again, like, it's just so good, and I'm not even like, I'm not limiting this to cartoons. I'm talking about like just media in general. How much of it is just like such unrealistic, just people and their relationships, where it's so like black and white how they're feeling, and I'm like, yes, I love it. It's so good in this, not the black and white.
Yeah, I mean it's a thing because like the black and white idea of it is just like. It just kind of makes sense to write that way. Like, whether or not it's realistic, that's just how you kind of would write a 20-minute story, unless you're doing what the Owl House is doing, which like, you're going to have
exactly. I mean, it makes
sense
on
the same sort of thing.
For sure.
Yeah. So it's like a tired trope, but it's a trope
I totally get why it exists,
like
but I also, as a viewer, am happy to enjoy something different.
Yeah, something different.
What else? I feel like we covered most of the episode.
Like
I don't know. It's such a packed episode.
More to talk about. Owl Beast Ida, that's cool. Or Harpy.
I like that was like our first instance of seeing her just like being able to pop into it, right? Like just effortlessly.
Like, control her transformation and also just partially transform. And also when only her arm was in Harpy mode, like I noticed that the color of her Harpy arm and her like shirt sleeve were the same color, and there was no like. It looked like it was just one continuous thing. Thought that was a little funny.
King was good in this episode. I will admit, King was good in this episode.
He didn't talk that much.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, that's not the best compliment you can give a character. But like, again, he could have talked more, which is why he was good. It's just like.
Exactly. No, but like, okay, let me go into it a little bit. First of all, King trolling Ida by telling everyone that she's trying to get information from her ex is really funny.
Yeah, and then him in the beginning, like hugging Luce, but also being cute, but also being mischievous. I'm like, dang, this is the characterization I wish King had all the time.
and like King's interactions with Edric Blight and Edric's like, I feel like people don't take me seriously, which is new, by the way. and then King's like, I feel you, buddy, and then helps him. I'm like, I like that when characters who were, kind of treated, kind of like coddled a lot, then they just grow up a bit and help support other characters in the same way that they need support. I just really like that sort of thing.
I agree, and I also adore Amity's siblings. Like, even in the first episode, when they could have been like, oh, these are the bully sibling characters, because they were being like kind of jerks to Amity. But like, since then, like, oh my god, I love them, and they're really supportive, and it's really nice. And they must be, I don't know, proud, I guess, that like Amity, because you know how like rigid and like proper she used to be, and now she's just kind of turning into her own person, and that you can tell that they're happy with that and just like are there for her, and I'm like, that's really sweet. I love it.
It's pretty clear that they hide themselves both from their parents, so that their parents don't ask them awkward questions like about Edric's dress code, which was very funny.
Well, it's interesting to think about. Maybe that's the reason why they were the illusions. It's just their parents, mostly.
Yeah, exactly. And also from, like, other people, because they haven't got that self-confidence with themselves to just be anything other than the cute twins, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like, they spent the entire episode separated, which is also a first, I think, for those two. I also like how she saw him get the bad girl coven.
Yeah.
Oh, that part was so cute!
I want all 3 Blight kids to join the bad girl coven.
Oh, we forgot to talk about the most important part of the episode, which is Amity's outfit after she got those illusions. Like, lost my mind, adorable. The glasses and everything. Can't stand it.
Cute.
So cute.
I mean, normal Amity looks perfectly fine as well.
Yeah.
She barely looks any different, but she's just got a cute dress on.
That reminds me, actually, like, Amity's wrestling outfit was, like, a little bit of a disguise. Not much, but a little bit. Whereas Luce, just, like... I mean, everyone in town knows who Luce is, right? She's the human going to witch school. Like, I don't know. I feel like... Does it matter? Is this wrestling thing like a... I mean, it is a public event to some degree, at least, but I'm just kind of confused about that.
Is she still concerned about people figuring that out at this point?
No, but it's like, is this an illegal wrestling thing, or...
No,
like...
I don't know.
You know, she dropped off... Something that's bothering me now is, you know, Amity's glasses, were they real or fake? Were they part of the illusion?
I mean, I think they were fake, but...
Because
they fell!
She left them on the floor!
Whoa, I didn't think about that.
Well, they're real until she deactivates the magic from those crystals. How about that?
Oh, okay.
All right.
Because Edric's glasses, we never see them. They could fall on the floor, and he'd never know. And then Amity's glasses don't even exist and fall on the floor.
I didn't think.
Oh no, my alarm! 2 seconds.
Is it your bomb alarm? You have to silence
it's my
it.
Netflix. It's my Netflix alarm because we never are on this late, so I forgot to turn it off.
Your Netflix alarm? Like 4 o'clock Netflix time? Like, what do you mean?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. 9 p.m. here is Netflix time.
Right. Time zones. Yeah, so iQuill's ass.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wait, how many syllables is that? iQuill's ass. Oh, it's just 3.
iQuill's
Are
ass.
they allowed to say that? Ooh. Sorry, I'm already working on my haiku. I'm sorry. I'm getting ahead of
Just the
myself.
thought process I had based on what I said earlier about how I want all the Blight kids to join the Bad Girl Coven. If they do that, and make a big deal out of it, I guess, what position do you think that would put their parents in? Because their parents are working for the Emperor, but they don't like it.
I think that's gonna be like an inevitability of Amity's parents being asked to like turn against her. I mean, I haven't seen any sign that they'd get involved, so it's possible that they'll just overlook that potential conflict entirely and just skip past it. But if Amity's parents are told to send abominations after her, then I think they will like be very uncomfortable with the idea and be in conflict. It would be very easy for Amity to get them to switch sides potentially. If anything would test their allegiance to the Emperor, it would be having to challenge their own children in any way other than giving them a slap on the wrist for joining the Bad Girl Coven.
Yeah, also, Amity, like, really likes abominations. I mean, like, it's not a surprise, really. I don't know. Because, you know, she's been using them the whole show, but she was like, yeah, you get it. It's abomination colored. That's why I chose purple for my hair.
Yeah, I don't think so, Amity. You can't get out of that one that easily. You definitely chose purple because that's Luz's favourite colour. Be honest with yourself. Though, it being abomination colour does make it seem like more of a permanent change than it being Luz coloured. Because you can imagine, like, the honeymoon phase of the relationship. She's like, oh, yes, I gotta have everything in purple because my girlfriend loves purple. And I love my girlfriend. And then, like, after, like, a year or something, she's like, okay, I want to change my hair colour to brown again. Or
she should do that. She should
blue.
make her hair different colours at different times.
Exactly. Like, she should experiment. But yeah, she totally chose purple because that's Luz's favourite colour. Don't lie to me, Amity.
I mean, I love that headcanon, so...
But it's also her one of her favourite colours as well, so you know.
I don't know how you
fine.
remember that. Did Luz say that was her favourite, or is that just your headcanon?
It's just the favourite. It's just the bloody colour that Luz wears every single time she's on screen.
Yeah, I guess you're right. It's true.
Even her Luz's favourite colour is actually chartreuse.
I'm trying to think if there's anything we didn't address in the episode yet. What about the thing that the guard guy said about the...
Oh, yeah, that was pretty important. Oh, yeah. It's like Day of Unity, he said... What did he say? He was like, we're going to become one with the Titan, but it's not going to be good for magic users or something.
Not just wild magic users, all magic users.
Yeah.
So it's possible that it's not just... I don't know what it means. Maybe it's the way that the Titan is going to... It's going to separate the magics. It's going to hurt all magic users. I don't know. It's very curious, but...
I mean, it's like Day of Unity, they're all unified because none of them can use magic anymore, sort of thing. Like,
I was like,
maybe.
he's not gonna... This isn't gonna be a star ending, please. Don't be a star. Don't do a star versus.
Because we have the knowledge that Bellis has the door and is trying to get it open. That when he said, a utopia without wild magic, and we also know that wild magic doesn't work on the human world, then we, assumed, at least I did, that meant he was going to try and bring everyone into the human world. But, what do the people of the Boiling Isles think he means when he says that?
God fucking knows. Nobody seems to have any opinion about it. They're just like, yeah, that's cool. Whatever. Guess the Emperor's
it's not even like the people of the island really are concerned about Luz being a human or whatever. Like it's not
no.
I guess there's it's the human realm's the only other realm. I guess it's not like it's something people
that they know about.
I mean, they know about it, I guess, but they don't see a purpose in it or anything.
Yeah, but it's just
that
guy. I forget his name. They said his name a few times in the episode, and I don't remember it.
The warden.
The warden.
Wrath.
He's not a warden anymore because he got demoted.
Because he stole lunches.
He said, this new world is not going to be. It's not going to be good for us magic users. So he thinks there's going to be a new world, but what does he think that means? Does he think the world he is currently in is going to change significantly by whatever happens on the Day of Unity?
Well, I'm not good at theories, and that whole thing just made me more confused about whatever motive is going on. But my theory now is that the Emperor is going to melt everybody, and their life force is going to bring the Titan back, and then the finale is going to be like Gravity Falls, where we have a giant Titan robot battle.
Oh.
Every character who's still alive will join the Bad Girl Coven. They'll be rocking the T-shirts, so they'll be flying on their broomsticks and stuff, and they'll be fighting the reimagined Titan. There you go.
Every character who's still alive. And everyone else is dead.
I do expect there to be...
maybe they'll come back. Maybe they'll come back, but they shouldn't.
I do expect there to be some sort of big final battle with a lot of characters that we've known for a while just wearing the Bad Girl Coven shirt, and Bad Girl Coven's the final stand against the Emperor.
Yeah, for sure.
I would love that. I'd love them to all just have Bad Girl Coven shirts for just because.
I want that shirt.
Because.
I need it right now.
Okay, we've been going for a while. I think we should wrap up soon. But first, one last thing. Hunter's texts.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Usually texts and shows are I'm no one would say that, but they, wrote it so well. It was leave, period, me alone.
And then he sends, a picture of his palisman in a little blanket, and he's like, sorry, wrong person.
Yeah.
Who do you think he was
Someone said
sending
Willow,
that to?
and I agree.
Yeah,
I think that's a cute idea.
I said Willow because he doesn't have very many friends. There's not a lot of options.
That was really, oh my god. There's so many good jokes in this episode. Can I rate it?
Yeah.
I give it a 10.
Wow.
Whoa!
Yeah, that's right, a 10. Uh-huh.
I think there's some really powerful moments in the episode, but I don't think the quality is consistent enough for a 10. I think it's more like an 8. It was very entertaining and definitely above what I would score a 7. So I think an 8 is a good score for this episode. I know that's the same score that I gave the body swap episode in season 1, but it's not the same because season 1 was season 1 and season 2 was just significantly better. So guys, it doesn't mean it's only as good as the body swap episode, but yeah, I give it an 8 out of 10.
I think I agree with that, and I'm kind of in the same boat where, the whole depressing dad thing that genuinely made me quite emotional. Like that boosted up like 50%. Just that aspect of it.
So you're going 8 too?
Yes.
Yeah, I think I agree with both of you. Like good episode, leagues better than the body swap one from season 1, which I gave it like the lowest score I've ever given, I think. Yeah, I don't know. Like I guess I always feel like I have to justify my score, and I don't know why I think it's not a perfect
I get
10,
it.
but like
I
it
get
feels
it
like an 8 to
because-
me. It feels like it's a really good episode, so it's an 8.
I get wanting to justify because I said 10 and you all rated it lower, and I just like started sweating. I was like, oh my god, I'm an idiot. I'm 10.
I think
No,
Chan,
I'm
it means
kidding.
you love
No,
it.
like it struck a chord with me for sure, like on a deep level. Not just one thing, like the thing Lou said, the way Amity and her, like the relationships, like just the quality was too good for me to not give that a 10 for me. So
Yeah.
I respect your 8s though. Whatever.
I think something we missed out on talking about is like this is sort of a dad-centric episode, like where we have Amity making up with her dad while we learn about what happened to Luz's.
And
Oh,
Lou's
yeah.
saying she's jealous, even though Amity's got a rough relationship with her dad. Luz feels jealous that she has a dad and that she's able to talk with him and connect with him, even if it's a broken relationship. And she's just not able to tell Amity that. My god.
Oh my god, 11 out of 10.
Yeah.
11 out of 10.
Alright, I pre-wrote.
More sad dad plot lines. Let's go. Come on, cartoons.
I
not
pre-wrote.
enough
haiku.
I pre-wrote my haiku this time because I just had an inspiration. So
Yeah,
okay,
let's hear it.
here it comes. They said I quills ass. Are they allowed to say that? Disney won't be pleased.
Chan!
The last line, I went through so many revisions. I kept saying like they'll be canceled. I'm like, dang it, they already were. And then I kept saying like they're gonna pull this episode from Disney Plus. I'm like, that's too many syllables. So we got there at the end.
Perfect. We opened
Yeah.
and closed on the same note.
Yep, once again, that was the most important thing in the episode. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more, please hit the like button so more viewers like you can find this video. Please consider subscribing to my channel with notifications on to see my future content, and follow me on other sites like TikTok and Twitter for special exclusives. Thank you very much for watching. Please stay tuned for more.